LeBron James's insane NBA career has been a 2-decade-long epitome of self-awareness, hard work, and basketball genius. And today we're going to break that down. I'm your host James, my friends call me Tribey. Let's get into it. So as I sit and record this video, it's 2021, which if my maths is correct, is 18 years after 2003. And not only is this dude right here still arguably the best player on earth, he's suddenly shooting the most threes of his career at damn near 7 per game, and shooting them better than he ever has. Except for 2012, where LeBron was basically playing like Thanos crossed with Jesus. The point is, LeBron is shooting more threes, more deep threes, with more accuracy. He's looking like a jacked 6'8" Steph Curry out there right now, and it's impressive. He's genuinely still improving at 36 years old. It's insane at this point. It defies science. It's crazy. Now, I personally am way younger than LeBron James, and my knees, my weak-ass old man knees, are killing me just because I play basketball, just because I've been hooping for 3 days in a row. This dude, LeBron, on the other hand, has done it for 18 years at the highest level, and he's still dominant, healthy as ever, and getting better. Now, this tells me two things. Number one, that I'm a fat, lazy, unfit fuck, and I just need to be better, I really do. And number two, this tells me that LeBron James is simply not human, and his continued improvements year after year with all this wear and tear on his body is astounding at this point. But it's the deliberacy of his improvement, the targeted nature of how and why he's made the improvements he has over the years that is really so impressive here. So let's quickly timeline this. 2003, he enters the league as an athletic freak, the chosen one. Not a great jump shooter, good passer for his size, good defender, big but not the swole-ass behemoth we know today, and more or less just dynamite in human form. A flying, gravity-defying freight train. The earlier years mostly trigger memories like this.
Again, a Smith screen, Posey will defend. Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life!
Now, of course, come 2010, LeBron decided to take his talents to South Beach. Fueled by pain and playoff heartbreak. That era was really about LeBron bouncing back, proving himself, and asserting his dominance. First and foremost, you'll notice he added a ton of muscle mass in that era, probably illegally mind you, but hey, who is my skinny ass to judge? And this made him even more unstoppable. And this is where LeBron is so great. He listens to his body. At this point, his new bodybuilder-like prime physique was telling him, bro, I'm fucking massive. I'm in my prime. Use me. So he did. After losing embarrassingly to Dirk and the Mavs in 2011, LeBron wastes no time. Picks up the phone, calls up Hakeem Olajuwon, who, yeah, he knows a thing or two about playing in the low post, and he asks to be coached on his post game. So he loses shamefully, is mocked and ridiculed, but he gets right back to work, calls up arguably the greatest low post player of all time, and adds another key dimension to his game in reaction to a new physical gift, his size. It's as if he looked in the mirror and said, holy shit, I'm a mountain of a man these days. Like, bro, I am big. Let me go add the perfect skill to suit this new physique. That is an example of intelligence and hard work combined. In Miami, he also leveled up his three-point shooting to the point where he went nuts and shot 40+% from downtown in 2012. He realized that an improved outside game would unlock his newly refined inside game and create more space for Wade to slash. He officially became a true 3-level scorer, a pick your poison guy. And guess what? Multiple MVPs and 2 championships in 4 years in Miami. Boom. Okay, so this is where the story starts to get spicy. This is where things really start to pick up in terms of LeBron's genius. Cleveland round 2, 2014 to 2018. This is where savvy veteran Bron really enters and starts to get very clever. As his body starts to creep slowly but surely out of its physical prime, Big Bron started to use his big brain to compensate. He had the humility and common sense to accept the inevitability of physical decline, but refused to accept that his overall game should have to decline along with his body. So he started to protect his body, rely more on his brain, and build skills to counter this physical decline. His defensive effort dropped massively, but his defensive IQ flourished. He wasn't the same monstrous 1-5 Swiss Army knife mega defender in Cleveland as he was in Miami, but he became an even smarter positional team defender. Roaming, disrupting, perfectly timed chase down blocks, timely steals in the lane. He started using his insane basketball IQ to stay an effective defender while expending far less energy on that end and saving himself for offense. Sometimes he was just straight up lazy on D, but at least he knew he was being lazy and was kind of trying to be lazy. he mastered the idea of conserving energy perfectly for the playoffs and could still really lock up when it mattered. On the offensive end, he started to really master some of the crazy one-legged fadeaways and turnarounds we see a lot today. RIP OG Anunoby. He started using more skill, shooting ability, and size to shoot over defenders, instead of using all the energy it might take to blow by a defender every single time, or simply detonating and jumping over someone. An older, wiser Bron started driving less and settling for and making more tough, energy-saving jump shots. Even when he did drive, he seemed to shift more towards the slower, freight train style drives to the rim that we see all the time today. You know, the ones where he just lowers the shoulder and plods through the lane, watches bodies helplessly bounce off him and finishes calmly. To me, this always felt like a smart, self-aware, older guy realizing he couldn't be tearing towards the rim at full speed and trying to leap over defenders every single time as he aged. He chose size, savvy, and strength, which all age pretty well, versus full-speed, dynamic, vertical athleticism, which does not age very well. If only Russell Westbrook could realize this too. And all this chit-chat about a savvier, more floor-bound version of LeBron leads us nicely to the old man Lakers LeBron we see today. Unlike other aging stars like Tim Duncan and Dirk Nowitzki, for example, who both actually dropped a ton of weight and got pretty skinny in their older years to save their aging joints and extend their careers, LeBron has gone the other way. He knows his speed, vertical leap, and dynamite athleticism are not what they once were and never will be again. So he has lent into the one physical attribute he can still dominate with: his strength and sheer size. He has stayed big. I also haven't really mentioned his playmaking much so far. To be honest, he came into the league as a good playmaker and slowly evolved into an elite, all-time great playmaker over the years. But it is this Lakers chapter of his career, acting effectively as a point guard, where he's reached unbelievable heights as a playmaker. This playmaking has helped his net impact on winning and his offensive value stay higher than arguably anyone else in basketball, even as other skills have declined. It really has added overall value to his game as other things have dropped off. And he's taken his three ball to a new level, and he's hitting these wild fadeaways and energy-saving contested jumpers seemingly better than ever with a crazy level of confidence. You can ask the 2021 Cavs about that one. It's all so deliberate, so self-aware. He's noticed the skills he's losing and worked strategically to replace them by improvements to other skills. He loses vertical leap, straight line speed, lateral quickness, etc., but replaces these by adding more strength, improving as a jump shooter, and shifting his style of defense, guarding bigger players and being more of a positionally smart off-ball threat. Long gone are the days of ferocious dunk after ferocious dunk, of light speed drives and lofty leaps, of intensely face guarding any and all opponents 1 through 5. And yet he is still as effective as ever in a very different way. This latest metamorphosis into the three-point shooting, fadeaway chucking, slow driving, bicep flexing, smooth passing, point forward monster that we see today is perhaps the most impressive version of LeBron yet. And ultimately, man, I for one just feel truly privileged to be witnessing this. I've felt privileged to be witnessing all of this since 2003, and I'm not taking any of this for granted. You can call me a LeBron James stan if you want. I get it. I've accepted that. I know who I am. God damn it. Go for it. And there isn't much else to say, man, but long live King James, long may this continue, LBJ for MVP, and that's a wrap, boys. As always, please be sure to like the video and subscribe. It really does help my tiny little channel grow and gets my content out in front of more people. That would be much appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and until the next video, goodbye.